During the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, a fed-up Maher and one of his guests, Sam Stein of The Bulwark, dropped a series of brutal fact checks on his MAGA guest about Donald Trump, Elon Musk, JD Vance, and free speech. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we have several clips to play from the most recent episode of Real Time with Bill Maher. As you know, to me, Maher is at best a mixed bag. I despise a lot of his culture war takes. I think he's too generous to the right. I think he's too fixated on what shoe the green M&M wears and shit like that doesn't matter. But when it comes to recognizing meaningful distinctions between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and specifically Republican politicians and Democratic politicians, he's pretty good, and he refuses to indulge in false equivalence in both sidesism, and he recognizes the threat that Trump poses. So it's pretty good when he confronts his MAGA guests, as he does here, and the MAGA guest in particular is Batya Ungar-Sargon, a self-professed MAGA leftist, whatever the hell that means. So we're going to play some of these clips and unpack it together.
But it's not like this administration really has a leg to stand on. They don't care about it either. Elon Musk said 60 minutes, they should do jail time. 60 minutes should do jail time. Are you okay with that?
I already said I'm not defending Elon Musk. I don't like
No. Oh. Okay, but that's... And Trump was at the Justice Department just today and talked about the people who were prosecuting him. They should do jail time. There's a lot of talk about jail time.
So they're talking about free speech, okay? And I love the fact that, he puts on the defense. Oh, I'm not going to defend Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk is effectively the de facto president. We're going to see a clip where she is reminded of that fact. But this is important, right? The right claims to value free speech and free press, but they constantly violate that principle because it's not really about free speech and free press. It's about power. It's about using speech and the press to achieve a particular outcome. And I want to be clear. I think, number one, nobody's a free speech absolutist. And anybody who tells you otherwise, if anybody tells you they're a free speech absolutist, they're either really stupid or a liar. It should be a huge red flag, okay? But number two, while neither side or neither party has a spotless record with respect to notions of free speech, I just want to say that the Republican Party is led by Donald Trump is the most openly censorious political movement we have ever seen. Trump openly campaigned in 3 election cycles, 2016, 2020, as the sitting president, I might add, in 2020. And in 2024, as a former president and Republican Party nominee, he's openly campaigned on investigating and prosecuting journalists, news outlets, people he doesn't like. Remember, he is suing a retired pollster, Ann Seltzer. He is suing CBS and other news agencies for billions of dollars over the dumbest shit imaginable, like they supposedly nefariously edited an interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. We've done videos about this. It's total nonsense. And again, he still, as the president now, is calling for the investigation and prosecution of his political opponents. We've never seen anything like that within the Democratic Party. And there's a long conversation which follows this clip in which Bill Maher, who is very much, I believe he's like a self-professed Zionist, if I'm not mistaken, just unapologetically pro-Israel, he even comes to the defense of Mahmoud Khalil, who is somebody that we've talked about in previous videos. He's a protester. He is a permanent resident, a legal permanent resident with a green card, and he was effectively disappeared by the Trump administration, black-bagged and taken from New York and then taken to Louisiana, where his attorneys have not seen him, his family has not seen him, and the only reason he hasn't been deported is because a federal judge has blocked it, pending, a hearing about what the hell is going on. And again, they haven't even alleged that he committed a crime. Right? It's a total. I mean, that's just shit you see in banana republics, right? And like fascistic regimes overseas and in the past. And Bill Maher, again, just comes to Mahmoud Khalil's defense. So it's actually really encouraging to see that despite enormous political disagreements between these two men, that even Maher is principled enough to say, hey, this is wrong, okay? And Batya Ungar-Sargon really has nothing to say in defense, right? Because, again, it's not about a free speech principle. It's about using the principle of free speech in a weaponized way to protect people whose speech you like and to punish those whom you dislike. And again, it's just really powerful. Here's another clip in which Sam Stein of the Bulwark being founded by Never Trump Republicans, I think it was Charlie Sykes, Tim Miller's in charge, former Republican operative. Sam Stein is, I believe, their managing editor, if I'm not mistaken, and he is also making a pretty strong case against Elon Musk in this debate.
Do you think there's zero waste
No, I didn't say that.
So I'm asking, how much waste do you think
I
there
think
is?
indiscriminately firing probationary employees just because they have the word probationary in front
It's
of their
the way
name
they did it.
is insane. And I know it's insane. I know it's insane. We know it's insane because Elon Musk keeps waking up being like, oops, I didn't mean to do that one. Let's rehire these people.
Right.
And then they get rehired.
I know, but
I'm not a
after.
fan of Musk. I'm not going to defend Elon Musk. I don't think I'm not a big fan
Well,
of
he's
his.
a big part of the administration.
He's actually just been marginalized because he got into a fight with our Secretary of State.
But that's not true. I mean, again, we've discussed this. So again, this is pure cope from Batya here. It's very disingenuous. Yes, there was reporting that during a cabinet meeting, there was back and forth between Elon Musk and the cabinet secretaries, and then Trump somehow hemmed Elon Musk in. But we did a video about this. The same day that was reported, hours later in the Oval Office, Trump effectively announced, he said, listen, the cabinet secretaries, they're going to be given a chance to do the cuts. And if they don't do it, Elon Musk will be watching. Elon will be watching, and then Elon will step in. So no, that's not you hemming it in. That's effectively the CEO telling the C-suite, the chief operations officer, or, the people at the highest level, the executives, that, hey, you need to let middle management take a shot at this first, but you keep an eye on middle management. And if middle management fails, then you can step in. That's just typical corporate structure. That's how that works, right? That effectively is reaffirming that Elon Musk will be monitoring cabinet secretaries. He will have oversight of them. He is superior, but he is to let them take the first shot or have the first bite at the apple. And if they fail, or if they don't do what Elon Musk wants, then he'll step in. So no, he's not being restrained or hemmed in. He's an unelected, unaccountable billionaire with corrupt conflicts of interest and corrupt incentives, and there is very little, if any, oversight or meaningful pushback against him. So again, just pure cope disingenuousness from Batya Ungar-Sargon there. And again, I'm glad that Sam Stein pushed back. Oh, so you don't think there's any waste, fraud, and abuse? No, lady. Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever suggested otherwise. In any big organization, be it a corporation, be it a federal government on this scale, of course there will be waste, fraud, and abuse. But any attempt to address that and minimize it should be a constitutional process, which is accountable, transparent, and surgical, right? And we see this reflected in the polling. There's a huge delta. The vast majority of people support cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from government, right? So you'd think, oh my God, then Elon Musk and Doge are in the clear. Except the polling is also clear that people loathe Elon Musk and they loathe what Doge is doing. Why? Not because they support waste, fraud, and abuse. The polling is clear. They want to cut it. The problem is Elon Musk is incompetent, Doge is incompetent, and there's a level of corruption and malfeasance there that the public isn't happy with. So that's on you and your party and your team, and you should be relentlessly made fun of for it. And you, in turn, if you're a MAGA leftist, should be turning to Donald Trump saying, you're such a fucking idiot, do better. But they don't. There's just no self-reflection or introspection. All you see there is, well, I'm not defending Elon Musk. Except that's exactly what you did. You just know you will always lose the debate on Elon Musk because he's so incompetent and so unpopular. So why even bother in the first place? I've got one other clip circling all the way back to free speech, however, in which they discuss, and we'll play the clip in just a second too, the recent public booing of JD Vance.
Was it inappropriate for the audience, this is for you, Batya, to boo JD Vance at the Kennedy Center last night? No, it's free speech. Okay? Come on. She didn't even get to answer. You're right. I'm so sorry. You're right. I tell you.
What, you were comfortable watching that?
I didn't see it. What happened?
They booed
They booed him. They called him like a series of expletives. He was with his wife. I thought it was kind of gross. I don't know what you guys thought.
I mean, it would be lovely if we didn't live in that country, but that ship has sailed.
That ship has sailed. Okay, and again, he's just almost like, what are you talking about? Now, let's play the clip, and then we'll return to what Bill Maher had to say, or rather, we'll discuss what Bill Maher had to say. This is the clip in question of JD Vance attending the Kennedy Center.
Kill that light!
So JD Vance waved, right? He took it in stride as he was being booed. But this is what Batya Ungar-Sargon is complaining about. Okay. Well, again, this is free speech. Here in America, though you don't have the right to threaten politicians, Republican or Democrat, and that should not happen, but you have the right to boo your politicians. You have the right to boo the vice president, the president, Democrat or Republican. And again, I don't think Batya Ungar-Sargon complained at all with all the invective that MAGA hurled at President Biden or Vice President Harris, right? Again, it's not about free speech. It's about, oh my gosh, I like this person, so you shouldn't be able to criticize this person. You shouldn't be able to. It's gross if you do it. But if I don't like this person, then yeah, you should be free to say whatever the hell you want. I'll remind you that President Biden and Vice President Harris were subjected to a lot of public abuse from MAGA Republicans as well. You had "Let's Go Brandon" chants everywhere, and paraphernalia, stickers, decals everywhere. F Joe Biden, FJB. The days of decorum are long gone. The problem is that MAGA and their apologists want you to agree to an asymmetric decorum where you treat them with respect no matter what they say about you, and then they can just say whatever the hell they want about you and yours. And again, it's pathetic, and I'm glad that Bill Maher is calling it out. And quite frankly, more Democrats and their operatives, their surrogates in the media should be calling that out as well. We don't owe Donald Trump any respect. That's why I don't use the title. I'll refer to past Republican presidents, presidents that I don't agree with or that I think were terrible by the title, because I'm a civics geek, and I do appreciate the notion of referring to people by their title. But Donald Trump is a uniquely indecorous and incivil person, right? So I'm not obligated to treat him with respect when he doesn't respect the office or respect his political opponents or opposition as well. And as much as MAGA wants me to agree to that asymmetric decorum, I refuse. Bill Maher seems to refuse, and everybody else should refuse as well. You'd love to see it. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.